Join them for a special community prayer service with the theme, If My People, a call to prayer on Sunday, April the 3rd at 2 p.m. at the Scottsburg Courthouse Gazebo, Lexington Ball Fields, and Austin Broadway Park. The messages will be about giving hope, strength, and encouragement through prayer. And don't forget, Friday services at Turning Point Church at 6 p.m. on Friday, April the 15th. Please attend a local church for the resurrection services on Sunday, April the 17th.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that really actually matter. Like the stair that only creaks when everyone else in the house is asleep. Or the smell in the vegetable crisper that no way can be vegetables. Or hoping those bees just take care of themselves. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be your heating or air conditioning. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Give Seth at Marshall's a call today at 812-967-3742, and we'll be glad to take care of you.
And good morning. We're here on Coffee Club. I've got Laura with me. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning, Greg. How are you?
Good. We had some storms come through last night. We got about an inch of rain and some hail spread around. So I don't know if any of the cars got dinged or not. I don't know if it was big enough for that. But on the metal roof, it sounded like they were the size of baseballs.
Yeah, that's what I kept hearing. I don't know. I didn't see any damage, but it was dark. So
Yeah, we should be rain free today and Saturday. We've got some more moving in Sunday, and then I think Monday's going to be okay. And then Tuesday through Thursday next week, we've got some scattered rain and storms that'll be moving through. We have on the phone with us this morning Melissa Jeremiah. She's with Hoosier Uplands, and she's the director of Home Health and Hospice. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning. How are you guys?
I'm doing well. Did you guys have some hail up in Lawrence County?
Well, I actually live in Salem, but yesterday before I left work, I think we got a little bit. I could hear it hitting the building.
Yeah. It even though it's, if you go out and look and it's just the size of a pencil eraser, it sounds like it's quite a bit bigger.
Yeah, it does.
Well, I'm going to put in a shameless plug. That's the part of the program that we do that, and we will be giving away Holiday World tickets and tickets to Kentucky Kingdom. And if you're going to Gatlinburg, there's a water park down there called Soaking Mountain, and it opened last year, and they've added some new things to it, and it looks like it would be pretty cool to go to. But this morning we're going to talk about some of that stuff and how to be safe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of covering. I guess to start with, I know that, sometimes some of the, different amusement parks or, like the different places that operate rides and things sometimes get a bad rap whenever there is something that happens and someone's injured or even if a fatality occurs. But I feel that from doing some research on that and from some of the recent incidents that have happened at different parks, that a lot of times it seems that people don't always follow the rules.
No, we wouldn't do that. What's some of the rules that they break?
Well, there recently was an incident in Florida where a young gentleman was killed on a ride. But after they spoke to some of the people that was with him and things, there was definitely a weight requirement on the rides and a height requirement, and he had been turned away from some of the rides because he was over the limit. And so his cousin who was with him, said that, some of the places were telling him, no, you can't ride this, no, you can't ride this. So he finally found a ride, although it was clearly marked that there was limits to, the weight and the height. And he went ahead and went on that ride, and then the safety mechanism didn't engage like it should have because of him being over these limits. And, everyone tries to point blame at, the place that it happened. But, we also have an obligation and things to make sure that we're reading those rules. Like if you get on a ride and it says, do not ride this ride unless you are a certain height, a certain weight, do not ride. If you have heart conditions, blood pressure issues, if you're pregnant, if, there's all kinds of different things that can be on that sign. But, the signs are there for our safety, and we need to make sure that we follow those rules.
Sure. Well, from experience, I've been turned away in the past.
Absolutely.
I'd like to go back and stick my tongue out of it. But, yeah, some of those ride seats are pretty snug.
Even at the fairs, I can think back when my kids were little, stretched so you can fit, and that wasn't right, but you wanted them to get to ride the tilt-a-whirl or whatever,
And they have most places have the
the
little sign that says you have to be this tall to ride, and
Right.
now they.
Sometimes I think the parents, kind of don't necessarily model what they want what the children should do. So, if the parents up there, causing a fit because, my kid should be able to ride this, they're only, an inch too short, or, they almost weigh what they should. I think that also sets a bad precedent for the kids,
Sure.
That think they don't have to follow the rules.
Yeah.
And the rules are there for the safety.
Sure. And an inch or two could make a big difference.
And I also think that, like, with the the rides, like, everyone is trying to have a more thrilling ride, and the rides are getting bigger and badder, so to speak. So it's even more important that if somebody knows they have a health issue or knows that they don't meet the requirements, they shouldn't take that risk.
Yeah, a lot of them say something, of course, if you're pregnant, not to ride, or if you've had some heart issues or high blood pressure, that kind of thing, you don't want to get too excited. That's why I don't ride Space Mountain. It's dark.
Space Mountain can be scary.
It's dark, and it's a roller coaster. So those are two things. You can find me on the Slinky Dog roller coaster in Hollywood Studios. That's about my speed. It's actually a pretty cool little roller coaster, and it's Slinky Dog.
Who wouldn't love Slinky Dog?
I know. There's one thing down there that every place I go, I always see something that it seems like somebody missed, but they should have a Pizza Planet pizza stand in that Toy Story area.
Yeah.
And they do not have that. It would make sense.
Do they have the game machine? The claw is my master. So.
They have a claw. There's a claw ride. There's an alien ride with the little alien people on it. But the coolest, other than Slinky Dog, the coolest. There's an arcade, and you ride through there, and you can. It's kind of like the over at the Magic Kingdom. They had a Buzz Lightyear ride that you ride. It's kind of like the turkey thing down at Holiday World, where you ride through and shoot at turkeys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But they have an arcade ride that you ride through, and you're in like a Toy Story themed thing, and you go through and you shoot at different things, and it adds, you get points. So that's kind of cool.
It'd be cool.
But there's other stuff that they could have that they don't. That stuff's probably millions and millions of dollars to add, so that's probably why they don't have it.
Probably.
Or
also, pizza may be a bad idea, something to eat before you go on a ride.
maybe so. The other guy, it's kind of odd choices. It's like grilled cheese and some other. Of course, I guess kids like grilled cheese. Anyway. I know at Holiday World you can get a whole pizza. There at the water park, there's a little snack stand.
Oh yeah.
Out in Washington Safari. So anyway, something cool they're doing this summer is they're having a drone and fireworks show, and I think they said 300 drones will put on a light show and then fireworks.
And I think it's supposed to be kind of a red, white, and blue sort of display. So I'm very excited to see that.
Yeah, that would be cool. But I think they stay pretty safe down at Holiday World. You don't hear too much about. Every once in a while, there's something maybe like on a roller coaster, because roller coasters, I guess, are probably more prone for accidents and other things. I just looked up and it said that in 2019, I don't see anything more recent, but there were 1,299 injuries around the United States. It doesn't say what caused those, or anyway. What are some good safety tips, Melissa?
The main one is to follow the guidelines.
Follow the guidelines, yeah.
Also, if you see something that you think doesn't look right, let the operator of the ride know it. Like if you don't feel that something is engaged, whenever like for your safety, if you don't feel that something is right, or if you feel like that something seems loose or something, looks strange or looks different than the last time you rode the ride, point those things out, because that's why you have the attendant there to make sure that the ride is as safe and things as it can be.
If you see a bolt that's falling out on the ground, you might want to.
I want to say something. Put on your seatbelt and it breaks open and tears apart, or I don't know.
Yeah.
People. I guess the main thing is taking responsibility. Take responsibility for making sure that your kids aren't getting on rides that they don't meet requirements for, making sure you aren't getting on those rides, and then making sure that you're pointing out things if you see something that doesn't seem right. And then another thing that I hadn't really thought about, because my kids, are older, my grandkids are even, older, that to decide on a meeting spot.
Yeah.
Like if something happens and you guys get separated, because there's always, the big crowds and things at the park, to make sure that you have set up somewhere that's going to be your meeting spot, so that if you get away from each other, you know how to meet back up. Because that would be scary if you were a little kid, or if you were the parents of a little kid and you couldn't locate them in the crowd.
Yeah. And I think a lot of places have meeting spots in the parks, or go to the information desk, or maybe like an office near the entrance or something. And but yeah, it's some of these parks are huge. It seemed like Kings Island is for the park. It's a pretty good area and so it would be, if you're going to be in a different land, have a meeting place in that land, and you don't leave until everybody comes back.
Right.
And I will have to brag a little bit on some places recently. I don't know why, but I've been. I probably shouldn't tell this publicly, but I've been losing my wallet.
Oh no! So we know to follow you around.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing in it. There's nothing in it, but we were at Disney last summer, and at Hollywood Studios, and I guess I'd reached in my pocket and it came out. Looked all over and walked back up to the entrance where the little office was, and there it was. And fell out of my. It's not an amusement park, but fell out at the Derby and found it, and somebody turned it in. So it's good that there's honest people out there.
Absolutely.
But,
I know one time we were we went to the lake in Tennessee, and my husband had lost his wallet. He thinks we had stopped to help a lady that her tire was needed changed, and he thinks that when, like, he had it in his pocket, and then when he was, stooped down, it probably fell out. And so we, checked with, we went back and looked for it and checked with the police and different things, and never could locate it. And so probably, I think it was like 2 years later, it arrived to us in the mail from Texas. And it didn't have any, of course, the money was gone, credit cards were gone, but it did still have his Social Security card and his driver's license, which we'd already had to have replaced. But we have no idea. It came with no explanation. It was just it came back to us, the wallet.
They were telling that the school board meeting the other night that somebody from one of the other schools had, I think this was right during a sporting event, somebody had lost their wallet, and one of the Salem kids found it and tracked down who it was and sent it back to him, and they took up a little collection and put some additional money in it and sent it back to him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know. Back in the '83, I don't know how that would have turned out. I hope we would have done the right thing. But
That's awesome.
with most of these theme parks are gearing up to open. Holiday World opens. They were open last weekend. I think this weekend they opened with the water park. So be careful taking your kids and yourselves in the water because especially in the wave pool, you get out in the deep end and that's deep. I don't know how deep that is. What 10 or 12 feet? Maybe? And that can be. But don't let the kids go out there and
Use the sunscreen. It's there for
Sunscreen.
free.
Yeah, that was on the list. The sunscreen.
You don't.
Do they still have free sunscreen?
Yes.
All over the world.
Sunscreen and lots of sugary drinks.
Yep, sugary drinks and sunscreen. They're right there together.
And on the list it said to also make sure to stay hydrated.
Yes.
When you're going to be out, and wear the proper clothing. When you're going to be outside all day, the sunscreen, and also something I hadn't thought of was to make sure that you secure items. Like if you're going to be riding a roller coaster or something, that's going to be a little bit more of a thrill ride, make sure that you have your phone secured and, your purse or, maybe wear like the fanny packs are coming back. I've noticed more people wearing those lately. That, make sure that your items are secured and don't stick your hands outside of the car or whatever it is that you're riding in.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. Even on things like the tilt-a-whirl or the scrambler, when they come close to each other, you don't want to reach out and try to high-five somebody. Might get your arm broken.
Oh, my
Or a roller.
I know someone's going to be on the scrambler and be like, I know the guy said to do the high five.
No, I said do not do that.
Do not.
Do not do that.
Do not.
Do not do that. And some of these roller coasters too that go down, like they'll come down off of a hill and go through a little tunnel. There's not a lot of clearance there, so put your arms in.
Yeah, don't be holding them up.
Yeah, and there's nothing that would make you more sick than to be try. I know there's people out there that probably do this, but again, we don't recommend it. Don't try to video your roller coaster ride because if you drop your $1,000 phone, that's it.
It's done, yeah.
That is it.
And also make sure that your kids, especially kids, know that if they give you safety instructions or if once you're up, like let's say that you're riding, or not riding, but like if you're doing like one of the slides at the water park or something, whenever you get up there, there's rules. Read those and see what they say. If it says something like slide only feet first, make sure that's what you do. Stay seated. Hang on to the handles. Get rid of gum before you ride, or no trying to flip the ride or rocking the seats of the ride were the things they said were the most.
I try to listen to all that because I just about come out of one of the water slides one time and I wasn't doing anything wrong, but I realized that probably for other people.
Well, we went to my class reunion in Illinois a few years back, and for during the day we rented the swimming pool, and they have a water slide. It's not a real big one, but it's a pretty good sized water slide. And whenever I was going down it, like I went pretty high up on the edge at one point in time, and I thought I could see someone.
Oh yeah.
Coming out of there.
Yeah, those are for other people, I think. other people that don't care if they flip out. I like to be on the ground most of the time. I don't mind to fly, but I don't want to jump out of a perfectly good airplane.
No. Not at all.
I do think though that our local parks that we have. I know that people come from all around to go to them, and I know that, a lot of times if something happens, it's because someone did tried to stand up or, tried to do something that you should not try to do on the ride.
Yeah. And speaking of local parks, Spring Mill, a lot of people will go there this summer to walk the trails or have a picnic, and everybody wants to go back to the caves. And I don't know, sometimes that's maybe not a good idea to go in those, but a lot of people do. And so it's probably best to maybe just look in and watch the watch the other people go. Plus the water's cold. That water's like I think water comes out of the ground at 53, 54 degrees, something like that. And maybe on a hot day that feels good, but sometimes you go over there and it's not maybe the 70s or overcast.
Oh yeah.
But also be careful if you're over there hiking for snakes. They do have rattlesnakes.
And the
around
ticks.
there. And the
The
ticks.
ticks are terrible this year, I've been told.
Is it what's a good thing? Can you spray? Do the sprays work, or what's a good way to keep ticks off of you?
I'm not real sure about the sprays. I just always feel that like anytime that you are out in an area where there is potential for ticks, that you should check your kids' hair, check your hair, check at areas that have like a waist, like if at the waistband area, or like if you have on a shirt that has a cuff. It seems to be that that's the places that they're most likely to try to go to. Or if you have like pants on that have a cuff on them or socks, make sure that you're checking to see if you have accidentally gotten a tick on you.
Yeah. Yeah. We just did a tick check here in the studio, and I think we're good.
Yeah, I did it while I was talking to you, and I seemed fine. But speaking of snakes, I was at my husband and I went to Gatlinburg. I guess it was over Easter, and I heard a rattlesnake, but I didn't ever see it.
Oh wow!
That we were out on one of the trails, and there was a lot of downed trees because they had the fires there a while back, and so they had signs, about downed trees, be on the lookout for smoke or flames and that sort of thing. And I heard it rattle, and I told my husband, I said, "Stop!" I go, "Do you hear that?" And it did it 3 times, but I never did see it, and so it must have just been scampering away from us. And but it was kind of odd hearing that sound and knowing that there was one somewhere close.
Yeah, they don't do that. They do that as a defense thing. So you're pretty lucky. Some of those can get pretty good size.
I did some research after I heard it, and they said that generally, if I guess that we probably did the right thing by standing still. Because wherever it was able to get away from us, because they said that basically it's saying, "Hey, I need my space, back up." And so since I didn't know which way, if it was behind us, in front of us, where it was, we just stood there until I didn't hear it do that anymore. So it must have been able to move away from us without being too threatened.
That's a good couples test, because if that would have bit you, I'm sure Jeff would have worked to try to get the poison out. But if it would have bit him, would you? would you?
Can I help?
Yeah. I know. I'd be
like, I told you to stand still.
I'll have to. Becky and I'll have to discuss that. But I think I know. I know the answer on that. You have the. Can I get the keys real quick?
Yeah. Can I have those keys? I will never forget. We went to Gatlinburg, and we were in the parking lot. They had went on a hike to see a little waterfall, and a bear comes across the parking lot, and I jump in the car, and the kids was like, "Mom, what are we gonna do?" Because it was like right there at the car. And I said, "Well, I have a stick and gum, literally a stick and gum. It's not like that's gonna get them away." We waited for finally move on so we could leave.
Wow.
It was awful.
Was he like being threatening or anything, or was he just kind of hanging out?
No, he was just hanging out, looking in the vehicles.
I think with the bear down there and deer around, that these animals are getting more domesticated, and they just will walk up in your yard, or walk up to a restaurant and look in, and then the bears down. I mean, that's their place, and so the more we go into those places, the more we're going to see stuff like that. And now around here we've got bobcats and
Foxes.
foxes and all kind of stuff. We were in Alabama a couple of years ago, and I wanted to pick up a armadillo
Oh my
on the
land.
side of the road and bring it up here and put it on the bypass just to see what people would say, and say, "Oh my gosh, we've got armadillos moving up here." I wasn't allowed to pick one up though, so didn't happen.
Just so you probably get picked up by the DNR.
Yeah, transporting illegal animals. That's
Probably a federal crime.
probably so. Probably not a good idea. Don't. And again, we're going to discourage people from trying that.
Now, do not pick up wild animals.
We've had a bear around here a couple of years ago. I don't know. I'm not sure whatever happened to him, but he crossed the river and came over here to southern Indiana, and then he went back.
Sean, our son used to live in Underwood, and he lived on County Line Road, and there was the interstate overpass was right kind of catty corner from his house. And we were on vacation, and someone sent him a picture and was like, "Isn't this your house?" And someone had taken a picture of the bear on the overpass, and you could see that it was right in front of Sean's house. But we weren't there. But
Too close.
he said he wondered what the cats were doing when they looked out the window and saw a bear.
Too close. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I think animals are just in their own world, especially cats
Oh yeah.
and dogs. Sometimes too. Dogs will bark. If somebody, I think, could come in our house and clean everything out, and they wouldn't make a sound. And then other times, they hear some imaginary noise and act like they're going to tear the door down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or maybe they hear something that we can't hear.
Yeah.
Well, one time Jeff was out of town, and it was when I still had my dog, and she was a red heeler, and she normally didn't bark or growl or anything unless there was something there, and I had the door shut and locked to make sure if somebody came in, I would have fair chance to defend myself or whatever, and she started looking at the closet and growling.
Oh wow.
And I'm thinking, is there somebody in the closet? Has somebody hidden in my closet? I've watched too many movies, but it was kind of alarming because she just sat there and just was staring at that closet.
Aww.
I mean, I don't discount anything a dog thinks it hears or something, because their senses are pretty good, but sometimes they can be off, I guess.
Yeah.
There might have been a bug or a mouse or something that they...
Mine's usually.
I never had the courage to look in the closet, so I don't know. There may have been. They were afraid of my dogs. They didn't come out.
We had some work done a couple of years ago, and when they were in the wall, they said, "Oh, look what we found!" And there was about a 4-foot snake skin.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say
Oh.
that.
And well, the more disgusting thing was, he said, "This is not that old."
Oh no.
To which I said, "Then you better find it."
Yeah.
If
We're
I find it,
moving, baby.
yeah, we're
moving.
it was probably a black snake, but still. And they said they're good. And I don't believe there's anything such as a good snake, but I guess there really are. They're good snakes. But Mr. McCurdy used to have snakes in the classroom when we were in high school over here, and it was a big treat to be able to bathe the little constrictor, a rabbit or something.
I know Mr. Jolly. He lived across the street from me, and one summer I like snakes, and so he had seen. He said it was the biggest black snake that he had seen for a while, and he said it went through the culvert, so it should have came out in your yard. So keep an eye out for it. And we were in an auction of one of our neighbors, and so afterwards, I'm thinking, I'm excited to go try to find it, and so then our neighbor on the other side of me comes over to the auction and goes, I just seen the biggest black snake I'd ever seen before and killed it.
Oh.
Wasn't gonna hurt anything, but so Mr. Jolly and I were just so disappointed that he killed it, but he said it had gotten on our patio and he didn't want it on the patio.
That's probably true. Now, I've always heard that the only good snake was a dead snake.
I've heard that too.
Well, apparently that was my neighbor's opinion as well.
And even Jesus stepped on the snake. So, so that's a good example, I think. Anyway, back to amusement parks. There are, just to go over around here, we've got Holiday World, we've got Kentucky Kingdom, we've got Kings Island. Is there one in northern Indiana still?
Isn't it like Sandusky or something like that?
Yeah. Isn't that where they have big wooden roller coasters over there?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, we have some friends that live in Missouri, and they go there about once a year. They're major roller coaster people.
And then there used to be one down in Kentucky, but I don't know if it's still there. And I can't remember the name of it now.
Beach Bend.
Beach Bend, yeah.
Yeah, it's still there, I think.
Is it really? Let's see, what else?
Now they have like drag races there too.
Okay. Then they had Opryland, but that's no longer there. And I don't know if they have anything over by St. Louis or not.
No, they used to have a Six Flags, but I don't think they do.
Okay.
No, it says Beach Bend Amusement Park, Raceway, and Campground.
Okay. And then
I used to go there when I was a kid because we lived in Louisville at one point in time, and my parents would take me, and they had the wild mouse. Right it.
What was that?
It was like it would go up to like the top. It was kind of like a roller coaster in a way, but it was like just like round, and it would like take you up to the top, and then it's kind of like when it took you up to the top, it would do turns all the way down it, real fast, or it seemed fast to the 5-year-old.
Probably my favorite ride was.
Liz did have anything anymore for amusement parks.
Yeah.
They used to have a Six Flags. Yeah, Six Flags St. Louis.
Oh, I wasn't sure what. I know. I mean, you go down south, even in Nashville or other places, and you see advertisements for Holiday World.
Yeah.
Now, I know Holiday World is, I mean, a major place for people to go to because I still have a lot of friends that live in Illinois since I grew up there, and I know a lot of them come over to go to Holiday World, and you see it on Facebook a lot where they're talking about the good time they had at Holiday World.
Yeah. We were actually we were in Nashville one summer, and we were talking about Holiday World and some folks that we were at the CMA Fest with, and they said that they had heard of it and it never came, and Becky just happened to have a couple of tickets in her purse, and so we gave them to them, and they sent us a card a couple months later that they went, had a great time, and we were real impressed with it. So people will travel for that. I mean, obviously people go to Disneyland or Disney World down in Florida. And so.
Well, and one thing I like about Holiday World is it's so clean. It's like when you go there, you don't see like any trash or I don't know. It just seems seems a lot cleaner than some places you go to.
Yeah, it's very very clean, and it's not. It's close, and it's not that expensive. That's uh, the one I've kind of been mentioned a few times that their cost just keeps going up and up and up and up,
Yeah.
and it's just getting ridiculous to go. And but anyway, yes, Holiday World's a great option, and I honestly have never been to Kentucky Kingdom, and it's under new ownership. The same. Oh, forgot Dollywood.
Yes, Hollywood. Yeah.
Yes,
Down in
I like
Dollywood.
Dollywood too.
The folks that own Dollywood bought Kentucky Kingdom, and so they probably made some changes down there. We'll have to go down and check it out.
I had been to Kentucky Kingdom, but it has been like whenever my daughter was probably in, she was probably like junior high age, and Sean was probably like late elementary school age. But I mean, so it's been quite a while ago. But I mean, it was like you said, it's close. I'm always for close.
Yeah. As I get older, the closer the better. We used to drive straight through to Florida, and I cannot. I can't say I can't do it. I just don't want to do it.
Now we used to do that too, and now it's like we always end up stopping about like Dalton, Georgia. Saying.
Yeah. It's Nashville's a nice drive. It's about 3 hours, and that's not too bad. But wherever you go, just be careful. Be safe this summer. Just listen to the rules. Follow the rules, and don't try to. If you cut corners, it always sometimes comes back to get you. So, and especially if you got kids and grandkids, don't put them in jeopardy, and try to. The goal is to have fun and to leave and go back home.
Yes.
And so, Melissa, at Hoosier Uplands, what things do you have going on over there this summer?
I don't know that if the opera house will be having things, I'm sure. Then of course, our other services are going on with, like, we do the weatherization. So in the summertime, we help out people with weatherization costs and needs, with energy assistance. And then of course, home health and hospice. We operate, all year long, and Head Start will be gearing up for next year.
Now, the home health, do you go in, like if somebody's been had a surgery and they're going to be at home for several weeks, do you guys come in and help them, or is it more for the elderly, or how does it work for
it's for anyone that needs the service. A lot of times, we help with like dressing changes for, like if somebody has a wound or a surgical area, or if someone's had a hip or knee replacement, we can go in and provide physical therapy for them in their home. We can also do IVs if they meet certain criteria. The IVs can be a little tricky in the home. Sometimes Medicare doesn't want to pay for certain IVs to be done in the home. They prefer them to go to like a outpatient clinic or to stay hospitalized. But the main goal is, if we're going in, to keep the patient from having to be rehospitalized or having to return to the hospital. So, the goal is that, the hospital once the patient gets sent home, for them to be able to stay home and not have to make a return to the hospital. And then, also, we go in after patients have left a skilled nursing facility to assist them with therapy or nursing or medication setup, whatever it is that will allow them to be able to remain safely in their home.
What?
Or at least in their home as long as what they can.
Sure.
Because, some people, get to a point where if they don't have family that we can instruct and educate, they need to, go eventually into a skilled nursing facility. But our goal is to keep them at home and safe as long as they can do that.
Sure. Now, who makes if somebody's in their home, and they're just maybe they're falling a lot, or who makes the determination? Maybe this is a question for more, but who makes the determination that they need to go to
like a nursing home, or if they're doing skilled, if they can do home health. It's usually the doctor. They kind of talk with the resident, the patient, and the family, and they kind of make that plan, and then they make the referrals generally, whether it's home health or hospice or nursing facility.
And a lot of times it depends on how much family or caregiver assistance that they have at home. Because there's some families that are like maybe they have a granddaughter that's not working, that can stay with the grandmother and isn't someone that is squeamish about helping with wound care or helping them with their personal care and things. But then there's other people that they don't have that support system at home. So a lot of it also has to do with how much support the family's able to give them. Or, sometimes it's an elderly couple is at home, and, if you're 85, there's some 85-year-olds that are out jumping out of planes and doing all kinds of things. They, for the most part, it's going to be harder for someone to take care of their elderly spouse in the home. And, sometimes they do need to end up going to the SNF or skilled nursing facility to be able to get that therapy, to be able to get them safely back home.
Well, you guys do great work over there in all the different divisions that you have. And at the Opry House tomorrow night is a young girl. She is Carly Edging Speesard. I probably butchered that. But she is from Delphi, Indiana, and she's a Purdue student. And she is going to come down and sing some country and Christian music tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the Opry House. And then there's a rock band on the 27th, and a guy that was on, he won The Voice. Jake Hoot. Like an owl. Hoot. And he'll be there on June the 4th. And guy's 6'6" tall, so you won't miss him on the stage there.
Yeah, you'll definitely see him.
Oh.
And you can go to mitchelloperahouse.com for tickets and find out some more information. And you can even rent it out if you wanted to have a wedding or some kind of an event there. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. It's a really neat place.
I didn't realize they were doing that.
Anyway, and then if you wanted to look some more about Hoosier Uplands, Melissa, what's the website?
It's www.hoosieruplands.org. And then our phone number is 812-849-4447, and that's our main office. So, if you have any questions about any of the services that we provide, you can call that number and they'll put you either through to the person you need to speak with, or they'll give you the number for them direct.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for talking with us, Melissa. We've enjoyed it, and I hope everybody's learned a lot about staying safe at the various parks and theme parks this summer, and you guys be careful too this summer.
You guys too, and thanks for having me.
Thanks. We'll talk to you next month.
Happy Friday.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Today is Friday, and today is also NASCAR Day.
Yay!
How about that? It's Bike to Work Day.
Oh.
Did not do that. I haven't had a bike for a while. I need to be back on a bike. Today's National Streaming Day, and we are streaming. Red Sneaker Day. National Be a Millionaire Day. I'd like to celebrate that one. It's National Pick Strawberries Day.
I think they're going to be a little later this year, though.
Yeah, I've seen some of the wild strawberries that I don't think. National Rescue Dog Day and National Pizza Party Day.
Favorite kind of pizza, Greg?
Well, The Chicago pizza was pretty good. We kind of switched to as thin a crust as we can get.
Yeah.
Try to get the carbs down, but
Yeah.
I mean any pizza.
Any pizza,
Even
yeah.
bad pizza is still good pizza.
Agree.
Anyway, I like the thin crust. Becky likes the stuffed crust. So anyway, she will eat the crust even if it's not stuffed crust. But let's see, wrote some things down here coming up. Graduation tonight at West Washington. If you have a senior graduating or just want to go, it's at 7:30 in the gymnasium. Eastern's having their graduation next Friday, with the rain dates are Saturday and or Sunday at 7 o'clock. It's outdoors on the football field. The gates will open at 6 o'clock. And I think Salem's, and I don't have the information, is on site next Saturday. It's inside. And I think usually it's around 2 or 3 somewhere in there. You'll get that. Last night or yesterday afternoon, the Guardians beat the Reds. And if you don't know who the Guardians are, they are the former Cleveland Indians, but we can't say Indians anymore. Anyway, so they beat the Reds 4-2. The Reds are still in the basement in the National League Central Division. They're 12.5 games out of first place, so that they are winning a few games. So they play the Blue Jays tonight at 7:05. NASCAR goes to Texas with the truck race tonight at 8. The Xfinity race tomorrow at 1:30, and the All-Star Cup race will be Sunday at 5:30. Also, this is qualification weekend up at the Indy 500 track. And we have some tickets we'll be giving away, and they are for Saturday or Sunday, so you can't go to both, but you can go either or. I think in years past they were for both days, but anyway, they've changed that a little bit. We'll have coverage today, I think 12:10 to 12. 12. Well, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, I guess it's a minute report. 12:10 to 12:11, 2:10 to 2:11, and 4:10 to 4:11. So we'll have some reports today, and we'll have reports tomorrow and Sunday as those finalized. And then Carb Day is next Friday, the 27th. Everybody in Indianapolis stops working and goes to the track for Carb Day. So also the Coca-Cola 600 is next Sunday evening after the Indy race, and we have some tickets to that. We'll be sending some folks. We'll also be giving away a couple of tickets to the Indy 500. There's a race there's a truck race and a cup race in St. Louis the first weekend of June. We'll be giving tickets away too. And for those that follow the bull riding, number 1, Dalen Swearingen, he's from New York. He won last night out in Fort Worth. They are doing the World Finals this week, and I think the main one is Sunday evening, maybe. But they're in Fort Worth. They moved. They had them in Dallas 2 or 3 years ago, and then last year they went back to Las Vegas, and then they've moved it, I think, permanently to Fort Worth.
Yeah.
And Fort Worth's kind of cool. There's an old movie. I shouldn't have said it. There's a trail that goes through Fort Worth, and if you're a John Wayne fan, there was a movie about that. What's the name of the trail? Let's see. It's going to drive me nuts. How fast is our internet?
Depends on the day, the hour, the minute.
Blazing fast. Chisholm Trail.
Oh, okay.
Goes right through downtown Fort Worth. So if you've ever seen Chisholm, John Wayne. Huh. That was a cattle trail that went across the Red River and up into Kansas. And they drove the cattle up there to sell them, get them on the. Probably at that time, probably the riverboat.
Probably, yeah.
And anyway, they also have a cattle drive twice a day, and they have those big longhorn steers that go down the streets. That's pretty cool. Anyway, and our road work here in Salem continues, and don't forget, on May the 31st, they will be closing the intersection Main Street and Hackberry, which is also lovingly known as State Road 135 and State Road 56, and that will be closed for a month. So once again, you will have to be detoured a different way.
Well,
And they got the chip and seal done on 56 going to Scottsburg. They don't have it striped yet, and so be careful because there's no.
no lie.
Somebody might say, "Well, I didn't see
I
a
mean,
stripe."
that's a lie. I don't know because there's not
There's
one
no
yet.
stripes. So anyway, just be careful. Road with they got to spend their money, so
They're doing it all at once. Closing everything down.
there's something over. See, they're doing some bridge work over in Scott Jackson counties along I-65. Well, anyway, there's some bridges they're going to be working on over in Scott County. So starting, they started this week between mile marker 34 and mile marker 50. So looks to me like if you go up 60, if you get about Seymour up maybe to Franklin, you've got 3 lanes, and then it goes back to 2, and then when you get closer to Indianapolis, it goes to like 4 or 5 lanes. But I think 65 they ought to do 3 lanes all the way down to Alabama. I don't know if they'll ever do that or not, but and there's some spots if you go down to Nashville now that they've got it down to 1 lane on each. There's 2 lanes. They made it 2 lanes finally, and I don't know what they're working on down there, but they are they've got some areas that are just 1 lane. So, but anyway, what's going on over at Salem Crossing and Meadowview? Got any barbecues coming up, or anything?
Yes, we have our chicken barbecue. It is next Friday.
There you
They
go.
will start at 10 a.m.
That's for Alzheimer's.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, it's for the Alzheimer's Association. They're going to start selling at 10 a.m. They will deliver. You just have to call 812-883-1877. It is $10. It's a half a chicken, baked beans, coleslaw, a cookie, and a roll. Ready. We've got everything prepared. We're ready to go.
Have you sold out already, or
No,
can you
we
still?
haven't sold out.
Okay.
We just started
Okay.
taking pre-orders.
Okay.
So hopefully, we usually do sell out.
Good
So
deal.
yeah, we're ready for it.
Good deal. And that start. What time does that start?
It's at 10 a.m.
10
on the
o'clock.
27th.
So that could be a considered brunch.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Then you get half a chicken
Half a chicken
and
coleslaw, baked
coleslaw?
beans, a roll, and a cookie.
Okay.
So
With $10,
$10. Yep.
or if you want to donate,
Yeah. Or you can donate. Yep.
that's a pretty good deal, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's their big fundraiser. And then Meadowview, they are doing basket raffles. They have a gift card basket. They have a wine basket. They have a kids' summer basket. There's a coffee basket. There's a picnic basket. There's a cleaning basket.
Hey, boo-boo.
There is tons of baskets.
Cool.
So they go up on Facebook today, and it's open to the public. You can come in and bid on the silent auction. But we're going to put them on Facebook and take bids that way too.
Now, are these ones that the residents or the staff have put
The
together?
staff, and then some in the community have actually donated them as well for Alzheimer's.
Awesome.
So we're trying to go big this year to raise money to donate to the Alzheimer's Association. So that's the goal.
Have-
Excited.
Do you have any projects going on at either place, like doing any renovations or?
No renovations right now. I know in the paper, I think it comes out next week. Meadowview is actually doing a art contest for some of the high school kids. They will select. They're going to let the residents select the winner, and their artwork will actually be displayed in the nursing facility. So we're kind of excited to work with the high schools on that project. They are still doing their CNA classes. They're hiring in dietary, they need help there, dishwashers, things like that. You can check out our Facebook page, our website. We have all the different job opportunities.
I'm still giving bonuses to get people.
Yeah, there's still bonuses. If you show up to work, you get a bonus if you don't call in for the week. There's a lot of good things happening there. So check it out if you're looking for a job.
That's positive reinforcement.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah.
I would have never guessed in
No,
my life.
not in my lifetime that you get paid just to show up to work. But it was,
usually the threat of losing your
Losing
job
your
was
job
enough
is-
to keep you coming to the job.
yes, but no, yeah.
Oh well.
I know, it's unique, but it's working.
Would you eat a hot dog for a week? Oh no! Whoa! Sorry, back up. This changes the whole thing.
Oh.
Would you eat dog food for a week for $6,000? No. Okay. A vegan dog food company in the United Kingdom called Omni is going to pay someone £5,000, or that works out to about $6,200 to eat only dog food for a week. Actually, 5 days.
Would you do it?
I have to look at the label and see what alternatives. Is it dry or in a can? I don't know.
No, like
Now, I've been told that when I was, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years old, that we had a Pekingese that I would take the milk bone dog biscuits and chew on them. Maybe that's
what's wrong, Greg.
maybe that's created some developmental disabilities that I don't know. Shoot. Maybe they were salty.
They may have been, though. You never know.
Oh, and if you didn't think that people sell nonsense, here's a good example. Gucci and Adidas are selling a $1,300 umbrella, and it's not even waterproof.
Oh, my goodness.
Gucci says that it's meant for sun protection or decorative use and is not waterproof. If you've got, you go to Gucci.com and blow some money, and I will tell you that that's probably the cheapest thing that they have for sale there.
Yeah.
We stopped in the Gucci store in New York, and we quickly left.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness! A sweater. And actually, there was a sweater and a shirt underneath of it, and I thought maybe that they would come together, you know. And he said, the guy said $75, and I thought $75? No, $7,500, and that was for the sweater. And the shirt was $4,500. So you're looking at $12,000 for the shirt and sweater. Shoes for $1,500.
No.
That's
And they're probably not comfortable shoes.
probably not. But I mean, it's hard to believe when you're just regular people that and you go to stores and there's shoes for $50 and you don't even want to pay $50 for a pair of shoes. That people are walking in there and walking out with this stuff.
Sure.
I mean, it's just
Not for me.
not for no. It's anyway. It's just different. It's different to be on that level, and I've never been, and probably will never be.
Nope.
Even if I was, I just don't know that I would.
I don't think I could bring myself to spend
Do that.
$1,500.
Yeah. I don't like to go. I don't like to spend $4.50 on a gallon of gas.
No. No.
So hopefully we. Let's check real quick while I'm looking, thinking about it. Let's see what the average gas price is today in Indiana. It is $4.61 is our average in Indiana. A year ago today it was $2.94.
Oh my man.
So
That's a big increase.
yeah, the cheapest in our area is $4.39 over in Paoli, and also there's one in Mitchell for $4.39. There's a Citgo here in Salem that's $4.43, and Circle K has a cash price of $4.43 here in Salem, and that's about it as far as the gas. You can go to WSLN. We have a page called the WSLN Pump Patrol, and you can go on there and check the local prices and see the averages, and there's a map there you can look around. And it's 459 down in Hardinsburg, so stay out of Hardinsburg. I think actually yesterday I was looking. There's a place over by Madison. It was 499. Little town, 499. That sucks for those people.
Yeah.
There was. I think they could go maybe 5-10 minutes and get it a little cheaper. But 499. That's a lot. And that's not. That's not diesel. That's
Yeah, it is. So we're not much to down.
and I forgot when we first started out. We got something that we go over our.
Yeah, we need to thank our sponsors. We have Walmart, Meadowview Healthcare, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Celebrity Home Loans, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and Fox Curly Wealth Management. Thank you to our wonderful sponsors.
And to our sponsors, and we'll be heading out and back on Monday, and we'll do this again.
Absolutely, we'll do it again.
All right, thanks, Laura.
Happy Friday.
We'll hear from our sponsors, and we'll be back with Rick and Bubba after this.
Have a good day. Monday.